Hey Flosstube, I'm Kat. This is Kat is Crafting, and this is try number 3 for Flosstube 3. I'm super excited to be filming this a third time, and hopefully this time it is actually filming. I make it up halfway through this just to double check so I don't keep screwing up. Welcome if you are returning. I'm so excited to have you joining me again. And if you're new to this channel, welcome all the same. Thanks for coming and stopping by and checking me out. If you're new to Flosstube, just as an introduction, this is the space that I have for talking about my cross-stitching projects. As well, I also do some knitting and crocheting, and those will come up from time to time as I make progress on those and share those projects. Yep, still filming, so great, we can continue. So this week, it's been about 3 weeks since I last filmed my Flosstube, and everything has gone to sleep since I last tried to film, which was half an hour ago. So it's been 3 weeks. Today is Wednesday, February the 12th. It's a snow day here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So that's why I've decided to film this evening versus the weekend, because I found myself with some spare time this evening. Normally on Wednesdays I'd be going out with my friends to trivia night. We're no good at trivia, but it's a nice excuse to see them once a week, go and have some good food and some beer at the local breweries and support local businesses. So yeah, so that's what I would be doing, but instead we're all snowed in, staying off the roads, because we don't need to be going out, and therefore those people that do need to be driving around makes it a little bit safer for them, and less traffic. So as I said, this is Flosstube number 3. I have 2 new projects, new starts to share with you, as well as 3 whips from last time, as well as 2 knitting projects and a little bit of haul. It's now all a chaos in front of me because I've already gone through them, so bear with me. Since I last filmed, I've stitched a number 21 days over 5 projects, and that has worked out to a total of 6,780 stitches. So let's get into it with new starts. The first one I have lives in this beautiful bag by Little Boat 88, and it is my Fruits of Plenty, and this is what it'll look like. And here's where I am with it, and I'm really loving this. This is about 6% done. I've put in about 3,030 stitches into this, and it is stitched 1/2 on 40 count linen by Fiber on a Whim, called Night Sky, and I'm using Mrs. Sedas flosses for this. I believe it's Lust, which is this lovely orangey purple, and then Copper, which is this purple, the darker purple. When I first started this, I was worried that the darker purple wasn't showing up enough, but as I got more stitches in, definitely is showing up more, and I'm very excited to keep going. My stitch goal for this is actually 8% a month, so I've got a little bit of catch up to do for January, and then a little bit more to do for February, but then if I can keep that up, should be done by the end of the year. My next new start lives in this Little Boat 88 bag, and it is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery, and sorry, the other one, Fruits of Plenty, also by Modern Folk Embroidery. Here's what it'll look like when it's finished, and here's where I am with it now. This is being done on the with all the called for DMC, at the exception of the green, which I didn't have the couldn't find the color in the Michaels, so I just picked a similar color. It's on a 32 count linen that I hand dyed myself, and I've got about what does that work out to? 10% done. My goal is 12% a month to get it done by the fall. And that works out to about 979 stitches. And this has just been a lot of fun to work on. This was my February start. So really happy and working on that. I thought, move forward in love, February. Sounded good to me. And it lives in this project bag. Again, I said it shares a project bag with, I guess, next up, my whip with the Nostalgic Tarot. So this is what it will look like. I'm working on the border and the first tarot card, the Fool. Here's where I was last time. And here's where I am now. I only worked on the Fool this month, or since last time. The little panda guy, he's very cute. I'm doing this with all the called for DMC, 1/1 on a 32 count, sorry, that's just right in the way, 32 count linen that I also hand dyed. I put in 1,163 stitches since last time of filming, so really enjoying doing it. It is very tiny, so I need to take a break every so often, especially with the dark fabric, but really enjoying it, really enjoying the colors, and looking forward to doing more on that. And the reason they live in the same bag is they just share several colors together, so it just seemed like the easiest thing to do. My next project is Cirque de Coeurs by Ink Circles. Here's what it will look like when it's done. Here's where I was last time. And here is where I am now. I'll just do that. So I've been working on this bottom section here. This is done 1/2 on a 36 count linen. Don't think I have the name, so sorry. I'll put it down below if I've got that information. I'm doing this with Lichen and lace embroidery floss, and I'm really enjoying it. Again, monochromatic pattern, just really nice. Just stitch, 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 just fill in whatever's there. So I put in 579 stitches on this, and I'll probably pull it out again this weekend, just because why not? It seems like the thing to do to pull out the Circus of Hearts. So, and my last cross stitch whip is my Mirabillia. She lives in this lovely sloth bag, also by Little Boat 88. And before I go in it, this is what she'll look like. Here's where I was last time, and I'm very pleased to share that I completed 1,039 stitches to get all the stitching and back stitching done on her. I've even started the beading. She is gorgeous. Let me bring her in a little bit. So I'm now working on the beading up in this area. It does require a little bit of setup. This is the first time doing this kind of extensive beading, and while I love it, I do need a good workspace for it, but hoping I can maybe get her done by next Flosstube, if I really hunker down and do a lot of the beading. But she is gorgeous. She is 2/2 on a 32 count linen with all the called for DMC. So that's it for all of my cross stitch whips. I have 2 knitting whips just to quickly go through, and then I'll touch on my haul. The first knitting whip I have is my Santa socks. I had this pair done for probably several months now. I finally cast on the second pair, so I've just got the toesy done, and working my way up. And this is just an easy sit and knit in the round, so hopefully it'll come along fairly quickly. Don't have as much knitting time as I used to do, because I used to knit during meetings when I was working from home. I'm no longer doing that. I'm at work for 3 days a week, so not as much knitting getting done, but still getting some done. And then my next knitting whip is the Don't Panic shawl. Here's where I was last time, and here's where I am now. I've worked all my way up from this this little marker here shows where I was last time, or finished last time. So I'm now into the green, and it is just looking absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to keep this going. This yarn is just wonderful to work with. Blue brick gradient yarn, and it's really nice to see the green come out. I've been trying to put 2 rows a day on that and just slowly make progress on it. So that's all of my whips to share with you. Let's move on to a little bit of haul. So the first haul I have to share with you are my Lichen and Lace monthly subscription. It's a 3-month subscription where I get 5 embroidery flosses. So this month we got these 5 lovely flosses, and I'll just go through them. You've got mulled wine, gumdrop, rose hip, cranberry, and grape jelly. The grape jelly one is absolutely gorgeous. It also came with these lovely scissors, which I needed some new ones, so I'll put these to work right away. Next haul is actually from Lichen and Lace as well. I needed some new additional embroidery floss for a project that I've kitted up. It's the Plague Doctor. I'd only gotten 2 skeins because it was carryover from a previous project, but I needed roughly about 3 to 4 skeins, probably just under about 3.5. So I got 2. So I got 2 new skeins, that matching skeins called Soot, to go with the other 2 I already own. And so I'm really looking forward to starting that project, but these should be perfect, and I should have enough now to get going. I didn't want to start it and then chance it. And the last haul I have is just a kind of an addition to the embroidery floss I bought. It was one of those buy X much dollars get free shipping, so of course I couldn't let these 2 guys travel on their own. So I got this wonderful little bunch of mini skeins from Lichen and Lace. This is the Clover Cottage colorways, I guess. And I'm really looking forward to making like scrappy socks or something out of them. And so that's all I've got for you today. A couple things with plans. I'm really looking forward to starting my Plague Doctor. I have a Valentine's Day start, which is my Love Note sweater. I've just swatched the yarn for that, and for those of you that aren't knitters, swatching is knitting up a little square and measuring it to make sure that your knitting tightness is the same as what the pattern's been written for, and if it's not, then you can adjust accordingly before you make a garment and find out that it's too tight or too loose because your knitting tension isn't the same as the person who wrote the pattern. So that's just, I'm just letting that dry because you normally block them and you normally do things you normally would do with the final garment, just so that way the yarn relaxes and acts as if it was in a garment. So I'm just waiting for that to dry so I can measure it and then figure out what needles I need to use, and then I'm going to cast that on Friday. I don't know when I'm going to start Plague Doctor. I really want to. So don't know if I'm going to hold out too long. And I also want to start Royal Games, which will be my second Mirabillia. And I'm really looking forward to that. I've got all the fabric. I've got all the DMC and special flosses if it has it in beads. So that's all ready to go. And just as a Flosstube plan, I do want to plan a Flosstube extra of my finish parade, just to go through, since I'm new here, just to go through some of the finishes that I have on hand. They're just going to be probably over the several past years. I don't have tons, but I've got like 10 or so, so I thought it'd be fun to just do a quick film and throw that up as a Flosstube extra, so that should be coming. But that's really everything I've got for you today. If you've stuck around this long, thank you so much. Let me know what you're working on, or that you stuck around. It'd be great to hear from you. And just in case you are still around, I film about every 3 weeks, so look out for that in a couple weeks. Until then, take care, and have a good one.